What's going on, Bottom Line viewers? It's Mitch here of the Bottom Line View, joined by Dilly Vanilli, Dylan, and Kevin Olenek.
Hello.
So we are here to discuss WrestleMania, give you a full preview of the show, all of our predictions, every match, top to bottom, all 14 of them. We're going to go through every single match from the pre-show to the main event. We're going to tell you how we would book the match, how we would go about the match, and also who's going to win the match. And just going to discuss the storylines as well. So everything in between. It's WrestleMania season. It's WrestleMania this Sunday, April the 2nd in Orlando. Myself, Dylan, we're both going to the event at Camping World Stadium in Orlando. Looking forward to it. And it's going to be very exciting to be there live. If you guys don't already know, we will both have, I was just going to get to that, we'll both have reviews of the event. Myself, Dylan, maybe Mike will be on a review for the live portion of the event, while the TV version will be covered by Kevin Olenek and his guests of his choice that I really don't know of quite yet. But we will get to that later on in the video. Anyways, let's get into WrestleMania 33, our preview, our predictions, and who we think is going to win. So let's start off in the pre-show. But before we start off in the pre-show, I want to know how you guys feel about WrestleMania 33. Are you excited to see it? Do you think it could be an all-time great card? What are your guys' expectations coming into this show?
Nah, I think this is going to be a little different from Kevin because he's obviously going to watch it and we're going to be there live. I'm excited for the show. I'm interested to see how it goes, what kind of matches are going to pop out and what are going to be the best shows. Do I think it has a chance to be the all-time great? Every show has a chance to be an all-time great show. There's going to be some interesting matches for sure, some outcomes that are going to be unpredictable, and it's going to be a little bit difficult for us to pick. But I think it has a good chance of doing something pretty well. Maybe some booking decisions that they need to avoid in order for this show to be good. And I'm heavily interested in it. Is there a reason why? Probably not, because the build for most of these matches have been pretty garbage on the Raw side for sure. So I'm interested to see how they adapt to pretty shitty booking, at least on the Raw side, and make it a good show. So I'm interested.
I think that there's going to be some matches that will surprise us in a good way. And I think that there'll be some stars. And I think, after a Raw review, I was left out. I was like, I'm not that excited. And my excitement meter went up a little bit this morning when I got up. So, I mean, as you get closer, it's going to be better. Do I think it will be better than last year? Yes. 2 years ago, that will be interesting because that's one of my personal favorite ones. With the Seth Rollins cash-in. We'll see. I'm in the middle.
Yeah, Kev, good thing you brought up WrestleMania 31 because I think that this card looks a lot like that one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I do too, actually.
I think it's comparable. I think it has a lot of mid-card matches that could steal the show. The main events, kind of iffy. We're not so sure what's going to happen in those main events. But I think that this overall from top to bottom looks to be a better card than last year for sure. A lot to do with the injuries and stuff of that nature. But it still looks like a fun show, and I'm excited for it. So let's start off in the pre-show with Neville versus Austin Aries. This is the WWE Cruiserweight Championship match. And the Cruiserweight Championship and Cruiserweight division, we can basically tell you it hasn't been very good. If you guys haven't figured that out already, maybe you like the Cruiserweight division. Most people aren't a fan of the Cruiserweight division, and that includes us. But one person and maybe even two people that we do enjoy in the Cruiserweight division are Neville and, to a lesser degree, Austin Aries. Austin Aries obviously has the background of a very good wrestler, his days in TNA, now coming to NXT, and now on the main roster. Neville, great talent. I mean, amazing wrestler. Both these guys can put on a great match. And, the build up to this match, not so hot, not so compelling, but it was the Cruiserweight Championship. And, it's not like a match that's going to have a lot of time on TV to build the storyline. This is a match that could be one of the underrated or, slide in there and be kind of a really good match under the radar. My buddy Mike said that this could possibly be the best match of the show, but it's on the pre-show, so it can't. Just to be honest, I mean, it's on the pre-show. Not enough people are going to see it. It's not going to get enough time. And I don't think that's disappointing, because I think that this is the Cruiserweight division that hasn't lived up to the hype. Not a lot of people are intrigued and invested into it. So I like that it's on the pre-show. It should be on the pre-show. That's where it belongs. As for who's going to win, in my eyes, I see Neville retaining the title. I think Neville should hold this title for as long as humanly possible until he gets absolutely stale. Austin Aries, especially as a face, hasn't been very compelling to me in this Cruiserweight division. He was more compelling as the commentator to me. And I think him winning the title over Neville here does nothing for the future of your Cruiserweight division. Neville should be that face of the division going forward until someone else comes out that's hotter than him in the Cruiserweight division. So I have Neville winning this match. I think it will be a fairly good match. Am I looking forward to it? Not really. I will say this. I think it will be pretty good. And I don't know. I'm going to go with Neville, but I'm not sure how long it's going to get. That's kind of the problem. If it was given enough time, maybe I would say I was looking forward to it, but I'm not really looking forward to it. And I'm not sure how the fans are going to receive it live at the stadium. You guys, what do you guys think?
Know if people are going to be in the stadium by the time this.
That's true, because last year, nobody was in the stadium yet. No. I think it was like Kalisto versus Ryback, and there was like 50 people in the stadium. Like, I'm not kidding you.
Yeah, it was a train wreck. Hopefully they got it done this year, because the pre-show starts like an hour and a half after we get in the stadium. But anyways, so this time around, you got Neville, Austin Aries. I like both guys for sure. I like what Austin Aries can do, unlike Mitch, who is a little bit less on the good side of Austin Aries. One thing he hit the nail on the head was that he's not as good as a face as he is a heel. He's a really good heel, and having this dynamic doesn't really work for him. And especially, like Kev said a lot last night, the build-up to this match, especially on that last episode of Raw, really hindered what I was expecting out of this match, because it wasn't really good build at all. Do I think they're going to have a good match? Absolutely. I still have Neville winning this match, just based on the fact that Neville has been a dominant heel for the Cruiserweight division. He's been probably one of the only things that are watchable in this division. And in order for it to be fresh and competitive, I think Neville is the right choice to win. And even though Austin Aries could possibly win the title down the road, I don't think this is the place to be, especially at a pre-show for a stacked card like this. So I'm going to go with Neville to retain the belt.
I don't think that this is going to be the first match in the pre-show. I think this is going to be the last match in the pre-show. So I think they may get a little bit more time than people think. I'm thinking this will go about 10 to 13 minutes. But I do agree with both Dylan and Mitch on this. Austin Aries just doesn't work as a face. He has never worked as a face. I think part of the problem is when he was on commentary, he was a heel. There wasn't a compelling reason for him to turn face, and I think has been part of the problem with the specific build. The match will be excellent. I think Neville will win, but I think one of the questions that I have going forward is, will the crowd almost babyface Neville? It's going to be an interesting crowd to see how they handle that. But I do think that the right person to go over here is Neville. So I would suspect that he will win.
And would it be clean, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we all have Neville. We're all on Neville in the Cruiserweight Championship match. Next one, we have the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which we have heard previously from Kev that he wants Nia Jax to win this match. Unfortunately, Nia Jax is in the Women's Championship match on Raw, so she can't win this match. Sorry, Kev.
It's I'm sorry for Bayley, Charlotte, and Sasha.
Anyways, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal will feature superstars like Sami Zayn, Braun Strowman, The Big Show, Bo Dallas, those sort of guys. There's not going to be many big time players in this. Maybe Mojo Rawley will be in there. Hopefully a Rob Gronkowski. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, I think this match, it's between two people and two people only. I think the Big Show has had his shine. He's already won this match. He won the very first one. I don't think it makes a lot of sense for the Big Show to win it again. So I would eliminate the Big Show from the possible winners situation. I think it's between the two guys, Sami Zayn and Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman being the big monster heel, and Sami Zayn being that baby face that doesn't give up because he's a taxi driver. But I'm going to go with Braun Strowman. It just makes too much sense. I think at the end of the day, you'll have a big moment where Braun Strowman throws Big Show over the top rope. And at the end, it will be between Zayn. It will be between Braun. And Zayn will look like he might win. He's going to take it to Strowman. But at the end of the day, Strowman is too much, and he throws Zayn over the top rope. I think that's how it's got to go. I think you need to keep on pushing Braun Strowman. He had a real big spark when he did face the Big Show, that one Raw where it looked like he was a future star in the company. Hopefully they can continue that trend with this Battle Royal, and I would go with Braun Strowman winning this match. And I think that is where they're going to go as well. And we've discussed possible situations of how to book this match, like Strowman throwing every single person out of the ring, which would be pretty amazing. I think the logical scenario would be him and Zayn at the end. He gets the upper hand on Zayn and throws him out. So I'm going to go Strowman in this match.
I hate to be a nerd about this, but Big Show did not win the first one. Cesaro did. I hate
Yes, that's right.
Cesaro second one, whatever.
There you go. I hate to be a nerd about that, but just want to clarify. In this match, like Mitch said, there's really only two people. There was a sneaky third one that Kevin threw out there last night that I did like with Samoa Joe in the mix because he doesn't have a match in the show. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go Strowman. They might go with a little bit of a swerve and have Sami Zayn. I don't think that's exactly a swerve because they've been building him up in this match. But I think Braun, the big man, he doesn't have a big important match on the show. And it's kind of sad that he's getting relegated to the pre-show, but it would help his character and it would help, become a bigger star because that's what the Battle Royal is kind of supposed to do. So I think Braun Strowman, dominant. He's going to go over, maybe throw some guys out, maybe have some guys jump over by themselves because they don't want to face him. And I think Strowman is the logical choice here, so I'm going with Braun Strowman.
Okay, so if it was me, I would have Braun Strowman win this handily and throw everyone out. However, the WWE doesn't pay me to book matches and predict winners. They pay other people, and sometimes their logic is undaunting. And I was going Braun Strowman until this week. And then a couple of things popped out at me. I think what will happen is it will be Braun and Sami Zayn battling. Samoa Joe will sneak in and toss both of them out. And I think Samoa Joe is going to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Excuse me, the right decision is Braun, but I think they're going to go with Samoa Joe and build him up to continue to be the destroyer.
That makes sense. I mean, I can't really argue against that. I could see it happening, but I would just prefer Braun. I just prefer Braun.
I would too. But you know what? If Samoa Joe wins and Braun does it, you almost babyface Braun too. Which going forward, if he's feuding with Roman Reigns, you could develop a babyface if Braun doesn't win it.
Maybe we could see babyface Braun then in the future. So myself, Dylan, we both have Braun Strowman winning over Sami Zayn with the potential of maybe Samoa Joe being in the match and causing a stir, but we don't see Samoa Joe winning the match. Mr. Kevin Olenek has Samoa Joe coming in kind of at the last second, as far as I understand, and throwing Strowman and Zayn over the top rope, even though we would all prefer Strowman to just throw everybody out of the ring and win, including other people around him throwing themselves over the top rope, which would be hilarious. But anyways, we're moving on. We're moving on to the pre-show number 3, and that is the Women's Championship match on SmackDown Live. Now, this match is kind of confusing. It's Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch versus Natalya versus Mickie James versus Carmella versus everybody that can potentially compete that is a woman and that is signed to SmackDown. So Alexa Bliss is the champion. She's defending against all these other women. Is it an elimination match or?
No, I think it's a straight up match.
It's just a straight up match, and all the they're just all going to be at the ring at the same time.
Yeah, that would be a clusterfuck in itself.
That's what they're going to do.
Okay, so as far as I can tell, the people that are currently listed here, Bliss, Lynch, Natalya, James, Carmella, none of them are going to win the match. That is as far as I'll go. I think that none of them are going to win the match, and the winner for me has to be Naomi. It just makes too much sense in storyline for her to not win. And I know that she's injured, but I think that this was set up on purpose for her to win. Now, am I disappointed a little bit that Naomi hasn't got any build to WrestleMania? Yeah, maybe a little, but that also kind of gives you that potential surprise at WrestleMania for her to come back and win the title. So Naomi could be one. I think another one could be Asuka, who could be called up from NXT, who's never lost. Come into SmackDown, her first match, win the SmackDown Women's title. You do a good job of solidifying her at the top of SmackDown right away. So you could do that as well. But I would go with Naomi. I would have Naomi win the title because it goes full circle. She is the hometown girl. She wins the title in Orlando. And it goes full circle with the whole story that they were working with Naomi before she got injured. So that makes a lot of sense to me. But I think that this match will probably be a little bit of a clusterfuck, like Dylan said. I think it will be it will be okay, but I just think it will be too much. It's just too many moving parts at the same time to have a really good match to me. I think the good part about this match is the surprise factor of the match and who could potentially win the match and what could potentially happen at the end of the day. I think it has more potential and intrigue than the Raw Women's Championship match, and I'm looking forward to it more than that match, but I think it might be rather the same level or not as good because there's just too many women involved. But am I looking forward to it more? Again, yes. Do I think it would be better if there were only 4 women in the match than the Raw Women's match? Like, let's say it was Bliss, Lynch, Natalya, and Mickie James. I think it would be a better match. But because it's not just 4 and it's like whatever, it could be 10 of them. I don't know how many is going to be in the match. I just think there's going to be too many, like a movie that has too many characters. It's just what's going to happen. So I think that Naomi will be the winner of this match with the outside chance of being Asuka. I don't think any of the women that are currently announced are going to win. What do you guys think?
Surprisingly enough, I have the same person winning. I think this has been set up, like Mitch said, for Naomi to win the belt. She relinquished the title, I think, 9 days after the pay-per-view and the injury and all that stuff. It's in Orlando, close to the hometown and everything. I just see it as a little bit not too predictable because they haven't really been building it up as much, which has been a disappointment. But the build-up that we've seen on television has been up to par. It has been a little bit better than the women's stuff on Raw, which we'll get into in great detail. But I think in this match, it's just too many people. And that was the problem when this match got announced. Maybe if you had made this like a triple threat and then say, oh, there's another person that signed on to this match, I think that would have been better. But now you've got five people at least already signed on to this match and possibly more people. So I'm going to go with Naomi. I'm not really looking forward to this match. Maybe that's a good thing why it's on the pre-show, but I'm interested to see how they book the match itself. But that's who I'm going to go with, Naomi.
Before I forget, I want to say this, Kev. This match also has the opportunity to involve past women's wrestlers. Like I've heard about Christy Hemme maybe, or like, I don't know.
Kelly probably.
Maria, Kelly. I've heard like a bunch of these names thrown out there. Kelly, I think, would make the most sense because she's kind of been involved with WWE the most. I would welcome Kelly coming out. That would be cool. So there's that. And also I would just like to say I think they've handled this build-up for this match really poorly. And I also think that Naomi not being there has hurt their process of building the match up. I just think that there's too too many women's matches on the show and not enough like character building segments of the women. It's just usually they have like 2 matches on SmackDown, and I like SmackDown a lot more as a product than Raw, but I just feel like the women part of it, they always screw it up, and it's not really the best part of SmackDown every week. So am I looking forward to this match again? A little bit more than Raw, but no, not really. All right, Kev, go ahead.
First of all, I understand what you guys are saying, but I'm going to go with a little bit of a different direction, and I'm going to make a bolder prediction for you. If Naomi was ready, I think that this match would have been on the main card, and quite frankly, I do think actually I would prefer that the Raw women's match is on the pre-show. I might be in the minority there, but that's fine. Hashtag heels. Hashtag IWC. But a different direction. I think what they're going to do is I think Alexa Bliss is going to hang on and win the belt. And I think Naomi will show up on Tuesday, and she will win it there.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Why would you have the tag title? The title change on a SmackDown versus a pay-per-view?
I have a question to add on to Dylan's.
Well,
point. Why would you say that Naomi's not ready and then have her win the belt 2 days after?
Because I think she might need it. If she was ready for Sunday, this match would have been on the main card, because the way that they built it was Naomi going to WrestleMania. So I think what you can do is, to me, this is part of maybe one of the issues here is, and we talk about this with, and I think this does affect both women's divisions, is there's not enough character here. And you have Alexa Bliss is probably right now, my favorite female in the company is Alexa Bliss, and I just love her one-liners. I think she has so much to offer, and if you can give her the win here, you legitimately have built up another heel here, which I do think that the females are lacking a little bit. So it's an opportunity for Alexa Bliss to come out and come out of this with a victory and say she beat everybody. And then you get the surprise victory on Tuesday, whether I'm thinking it's Naomi or they could be someone else. Could be Asuka, it could be your call-up, but she loses it on Tuesday. That's how I see that they're going to do this.
All right, Kev's bold prediction number 1.
Yes.
We're going to get to the main card, baby. Woo! Kev, make sure you're muted just in case that big bang sound doesn't happen again. Okay, so let's get to Enzo and Cass versus the Club versus Cesaro and Sheamus for the Raw Tag Team Championships. This is in a ladder match. Now, if you guys have noticed, the way that I place the card is in order of how I would book the card. Now, the pre-show kind of got messed up because I didn't know that the women's championship match for SmackDown was supposed to be on the pre-show until probably an hour ago. So I had to reshuffle it, but whatever. The pre-show is the pre-show. Who cares? So this is the order I would go in for the main card. I would start off with the ladder match. It's just a good match, classic ladder match to start off the show. It gets the fans into it. No matter who's in a ladder match, people are going to care because it's a spot fest. People are going to cheer. People are going to say, this is awesome. And people are just going to get into it in the stadium, which makes people at home get into the event. So no matter how bad the buildup for this match has been, I have no idea why everybody hates each other in this match. I have no idea why the Club, Cesaro and Sheamus, Enzo and Cass, why they have beef. Who cares? But I want to see the match because I want to see it because I want to see Enzo and Cass win. Simple as that. I want to see Enzo and Cass finally get the titles, finally get a title because they never won one in NXT. They never won one on Raw. They never won one on SmackDown. Enzo and Cass need to win the titles here. They need it now. You need to build them now, starting now. It's the perfect time. The Club suck. They're my least favorite part of Raw. That includes the New Day. They're worse. That includes women. Worse. The Club suck. Cesaro and Sheamus, they have a terrible entrance. But besides that, they're okay. I mean, they haven't really worked out as you would have thought when we saw that bar scene. That was way back in the day. But Enzo and Cass are the hottest team by far on Raw. They're the team that the fans care about the most, and they're the team that needs to win this match. I think this will be a pretty good match. You have some decent workers in here. I think you could get some cool spots with a crazy guy like Enzo and, some athletic guys like Cesaro in the match. I think it will be a fairly good match, and I think they're trying to bring back the triple threat ladder match style. I think that Enzo and Cass will win the match. I think it will be fairly good. I don't think it will blow anybody out of the water, but I think it will be fairly good. And I'll be excited just to watch it, just to see the outcome.
So Enzo and Cass, I think, are the only logical people to win this match. I think they're the only people that could possibly win this match. The build-up has been atrocious, like I said earlier. And, Enzo and Cass, they're just the people. They are the baby faces that a lot of people like and enjoy. The club are absolute garbage. So you get some good spots in this match. And I think it'll be really fun and competitive, a nice opener to the show, and a nice feel-good moment of Enzo and Cass winning the titles.
Well, I warned you, and I warned these guys before, and this idea is not necessarily my original idea. It came from Dilly Vanilli. First of all, I do agree with you. The buildup of this match has been full, but Enzo and Cass are the type of people that you could start a card with, because and they typically have done that. They've kind of put Enzo and Cass in the position to hype up the crowd, so they've done that really well. Usually, too, they also, with WrestleMania, the ladder matches start the pay-per-view portion of WrestleMania. But I'm going to go off the board. It was interesting that it was only Monday that we had ladders come into play here. This was just originally a triple threat match. And the ladders all of a sudden came into play. And I think that there's a reason for that. And I believe that this match will be won by the Broken Hardys.
You took my idea.
Yes, this was not my original idea. This was Dylan's idea. But I think that this is what they're going to do, because I think they are, from what I have read, they are as close to have signed as possible. These will make a surprise appearance, and they will win this match.
But Kev, how are they going to win if they're not? How are they going to win if they're not announced for the match?
They're going to be announced at WrestleMania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they will announce.
Yeah, that's pretty off the board then. That's like not even announced in the match yet. I thought you were going to say the New Day maybe.
No, I don't think. No, I think I don't foresee it that way.
I could see something where the New Day is involved. Like, I think if Enzo and Cass don't win, maybe we could see potential New Day heel turn, and the New Day helps, the club retain or something, and they start a feud with Enzo and Cass.
Maybe. Maybe,
because you got to remember that the New Day are the hosts for this thing, so they're going to be out there first. And if this match is first right after that, they'll stay out there probably, right?
They could, and then you have that, and then you can get that Broken Hardys Day of New confrontation that the Hardys have been clamoring about.
The Day of New, yes.
Yes. But does the other part of that is that WWE want to acknowledge that the Hardys have been saying these things about the Day of New?
I think they would.
You would hope so. But it's from that organization that
it doesn't exist. Yeah,
it's from that organization that doesn't exist. So I don't know.
Okay, so I have Enzo and Cass. Dilly Vanilli has Enzo and Cass. And Kev, say it again. Who do you have winning the titles?
The Broken Hardys. With the idea credited to Dilly Vanilli, it is not my original idea. It was Dilly's idea. But when I searched today, prepping for this, it occurred to me, and then the ladders, I put two and two together. Why I think that makes sense.
And to be clear, and there's a reason why I didn't pick that. I thought it would be cool, and I still maybe could expect it to happen. It's just, I'm trying to go in the realm of what I'm imagining WWE book. So we'll see. I don't know. Just putting that out there. I would like to see it though. It'd be cool.
Okay, so let's continue on. Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, this match doesn't have any stipulations. It might be, you know, a random sort of different stipulation that we haven't seen. I'm not really sure what they could do here. They could do a forklift match. Who the hell knows? They keep using the damn forklift.
Let's not use the WCW.
But I'm just saying they have used the forklift like 3 times in this feud, so it would make some sense. And for some reason, last SmackDown, he was standing on one, so I don't know. But it would be more interesting to see Ambrose and Corbin in a hardcore style of match, because that's the way that both of these guys, that's the way their style is. That's the way they suit. That's the way they're best when they work. But for me, I'm going to go with Baron Corbin winning this match. He is the guy that is the hottest. Dean Ambrose has been absolutely lost on SmackDown with his character. He doesn't know if he's a comedian. He doesn't know if he's a lunatic. He doesn't know even if his name is Dean Ambrose or Ambrose Dean. I'm going to go with Baron Corbin because I think the guy has it. I really like the direction of his character. They seem to have figured out what Baron Corbin is in terms of a character, and I think they need to continue giving him credit and pushing him in the right direction. Giving him the title would be a good step in the right direction, and I think Dean Ambrose with the IC title, or really any mid-card title, automatically devalues it. For some reason, whatever reason, I don't know, and I'm not hating on Dean Ambrose, but every time Dean Ambrose has a mid-card title, it seems to devalue the title, because every time he gets it, he doesn't defend it for like a month, and then everybody forgets about it, and it just seems like it's put way down in priority compared to a guy like The Miz, and they do a lot better with heels having the mid-card titles. So I think Baron Corbin being a heel would bring that title back up some prestige where The Miz had it, near at least. I don't think it'll be quite where Miz had it, but somewhere near that. And I think giving the young guy the IC title is a good way to push him up. So I'm going to give the win to Baron Corbin in a slugfest physical style match. Hopefully it's a hardcore style match, but if it isn't, and either way, I'm going to go with Baron Corbin winning at the end of the day.
I think this match, I'm going to give the stipulation I'll put out there. It's either going to be some kind of forklift shit, or I'll go out there and make it a no-holds-barred match. That's probably what I'll say the stipulation will be. I think this will be a nice, interesting match. You know, these guys can work a style that's pretty different nowadays and work more of a hardcore style, so that's nice. I think Baron Corbin is the reason to have this match happen, for him to win the IC title. They've had a lot of confidence in him ever since he won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal last year. Dean Ambrose, I think, is a guy that's better at chasing the championship than he is at holding it. He's one of those couple of guys that can fit that criteria, and he hasn't been very good as champion lately, honestly. I think Baron Corbin's been hot. He's obviously got one of the better heel characters that the company has had, in today's product. And I think he's actually improved quite a bit since WrestleMania 32. So I think this match is just set up for him to win the belt and have a new heel run or be a part of a big, stand in SmackDown. So I'm going to go with Baron Corbin. I expect it to be a good match, and I expect it to be, like Mitch said, a slugfest with some nice hardcore based stuff in it.
It's interesting going back to last year, what has happened here. We had Dean Ambrose was facing Brock Lesnar in one of the main events at WrestleMania. And he was the top pick for SmackDown. He was the number 1 pick of second pick of this entire draft.
Kev, can I throw in the fact that that match with Brock Lesnar was a real disappointment?
It was a huge disappointment. So Dean Ambrose's year has been, let's just say it's been rather brutal. And Baron Corbin continues to rise. I do think they're going to have a really good match, though, because I think that their styles mesh really well together. But is going to come away with the victory here. And I think Ambrose might be taking some time off after this. I think it might be a time to have a bit of a character refresh and something to change, because what he's doing right now isn't working. I mean, you look at the Brock Lesnar, you look at And you look back even, and we haven't talked about it that much, but that Stone Cold podcast didn't necessarily help him this year either. He's just been on a real downward spiral for the last little bit. So I think Corbin's going to win, and I think Ambrose is going to disappear for a little bit here, is sort of what I'm seeing happening.
Interesting.
Okay, so we all have Corbin winning, which, again, we all agree. But it's kind of like set up, like Dylan said, it's kind of set up for the younger guy and the guy that they're trying to push to go over. And Corbin has been kind of one of the main parts of SmackDown. They consistently have him on the show. They consistently do creative things with him. And I think it's a different direction and a different take. Maybe Dean Ambrose will take some time off. I don't expect that to happen. I expect maybe a rematch at the next pay-per-view after WrestleMania between these two and maybe an extended feud between them. But I think Corbin is the right way to go, and I think you need to continue to push this guy because, like I said at the very beginning, he has it. Okay, let's continue on. Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. This match has been kind of up and down. We didn't know if it was going to be the Universal title. We always said that it would be Goldberg and Lesnar, but in storyline terms, we didn't know if it was going to be that. We didn't know if it was going to be this. And we didn't know where it's going to be on the card. I still don't know where it's going to be on the card. I don't know how much they value it. I think the feud has been okay. I think the beginning of the feud was pretty good. Owens cut a couple good promos. They had that Festival of Friendship was a pretty good segment as well. Jericho has been very entertaining. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Jericho post-WrestleMania, which we'll talk about. But I think that the only way to go is for Kevin Owens to take the title after Chris Jericho. It just seems like Kevin Owens is just a guy that's always going to have the title. I mean, he has a title at all times. The IC title. He has the NXT title. He has the Universal title. And now I think he's going to have the United States Championship. He is the prize fighter. He only fights for prizes, at least that's what they call him. Even though that's not really what he is. I'd like to see a shift in his character a little bit after WrestleMania, but I think this match with Chris Jericho could be one of those under the radar matches. They've worked a lot together in tag team matches and singles matches. And I think that they could have a really good match. I'm not going to say it's going to steal the show because I don't quite believe in Chris Jericho's ability at this point in his career to steal this show. He did have a good match with AJ Styles last year, but Kevin Owens isn't AJ Styles. I think this match will be fairly good, and am I looking forward to it? A little bit, but I'm not really invested into it as a lot of other people are because I'm not a huge fan of Kevin Owens. But I think Kevin Owens will win the match, and I think that's the right way to go. Chris Jericho regularly puts people over at WrestleMania, and I think Kevin Owens next in line to do that.
You know, it's an interesting fact. You brought up the fact that Kevin Owens always has the belt. I have actually an interesting fact. Okay, might sound a little nerdy, but I saw this the other day, and it's interesting. Kevin Owens, up until from his time in NXT till Fastlane, where he lost the Universal Championship, the man has been champion 56% of his WWE career, whether that be Universal Champion, Intercontinental Champion, or NXT Champion. I find that weird. It's probably changed at least a percent or two because he hasn't held the belt in a couple of weeks here. But with this match, I think Kevin Owens is the right way to go. There's a lot. We have a lot of championships that are going to change hands here, which might be a cause for Jericho to win. But I think at the end of the day, Kevin Owens has been, he hasn't been a part of this feud a lot, which is, it's weird. It's been more focused on Jericho's perspective and Owens kind of healing around. I think he'll win, however, because with Jericho's status is always up in the air this time around. He'll probably stay for one or two more pay-per-views for a rematch or something and then head out for a couple of months for his Fozzy tour. I just think, when the Mania is really about putting the right guys over, and even though we're not the biggest fan of Owens, I think it's the right decision. I think it's, pretty much a easier decision to make than to have a 46-year-old like Chris Jericho win this match. So I just my opinion, I'm going to go with Kevin Owens here.
This one I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. The Festival of Friendship, up to the Festival of Friendship, the Festival of Friendship is going to be one of my top 3 favorite segments of all time on Raw. Loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, up
Give
there.
him
It was incredible.
Wow.
The feud after that has just been largely disappointing. I just haven't. You mean Kevin Owens came out the next week in a suit, and we haven't seen that since. Or since Fastlane, he's been back to his poor dress. I don't know. I see what you guys are saying, that the logical thing is Owens is going to win, but I just have this funny feeling that Jericho is going to be the winner here. I think he can lose it at Payback. I think one of the questions that I have going in here is this the time that we see the return of Finn Balor? Because Samoa Joe will interfere. Finn Balor come in and make the save and give Jericho the win. That's one of my questions. I kind of sense that that's going to happen.
Why would that make sense, though?
Well, it's because I mean, I think if you're going to bring Balor,
I think Balor will come out on Raw. To be honest with you,
I would think that would be better. But I think Joe is definitely going to interfere. I just have this funny feeling that Jericho is gonna be here,
Okay.
and then Payback, probably Owens will get it back. But I just have this hunch that Jericho is gonna win.
Okay, that's interesting booking there. You have a lot of interesting booking for this match, for these matches here. Yes.
Yes.
You're going bold.
Call me. What's that? I'm outside the box.
Yes, you are. I'm just trying to think in the way that WWE will do it. If I had to book this match, I'd still have Owens win. But I'd probably put over the fact that Owens can beat Jericho by himself. I don't think I would utilize Samoa Joe very much in this match. So I would have Owens win. Then we have American Alpha.
But I guess if you're
what?
I was just going to say, you got to build that Triple H stable, though, too, which I think is the evolution, which I've been calling Evolution 2.0. So somehow that stable has to be built in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
You're talking about that Owens-Joe connection for a bit. So,
okay.
Money.
Let's move on to Seth Rollins versus Triple H in a non-sanctioned match. Now, this is basically HBK versus Triple H. Oh, oops. I mean, Rollins versus Triple H. And this is the first time ever these guys have faced off. It's going to be interesting at WrestleMania. I think we've seen some things to believe that this is going to be a very good match. I don't have any reason to not think it's going to be a great match. Seth Rollins is a very good worker. As much slack as I give him, I think he does have good matches. Triple H, great shape. He has his style that he has down to a T, and he can perform in his sleep. And he's still in, like I said, great shape, probably better shape than he was like 5 years ago. And he can still wrestle a good match. And these two guys, I think, will put on a show. This could be match of the night, the match of the night that nobody's talking about. You never know. I think they'll pull out all the stops with this non-sanctioned match. You could see some ladders involved, some chairs, some different type of weapons. Who knows what Seth Rollins could possibly bring out. You could also see Triple H's sledgehammer in this match. So a lot of things can happen in this match. Samoa Joe could come out. You know, Finn Balor could come out. We've seen some Finn Balor Triple H things on live house shows. That would be interesting. I don't think it makes a lot of sense, but it could happen. Samoa Joe, like I said, you know, even a Kevin Owens could come out. So there's a lot of different things that could happen. Stephanie could be involved. Who knows? But I think that Seth Rollins will end up winning this match. Now, I think Triple H could win this match, and there could be reason for him to win. But you have to put the young guy over in the scenario. Triple H has had his day. He's had his shine. And I think this whole storyline started from the basis that Triple H was going to make a star out of Seth Rollins through this feud. Has that happened? In my opinion, no. I think it's actually decreased Seth Rollins' value because we've looked at Triple H and seen how he's carried this feud and how he carries himself as a character and how much better he is than Seth Rollins. But Seth Rollins, I think, after this match, this could be the moment for Seth Rollins where we're like, holy crap, this match maybe made Seth Rollins. He did have a very good match. He has a very good WrestleMania history. You know, he didn't participate at 32, but at 31, he had a great match with Randy Orton and then won the title on the same night. So there's that. This one, I think he'll win again. I think it'll be a great match. I think it'll be kind of under the radar. And I think there'll be a couple spots in this match that will absolutely get huge pops. So I'm going to go with Seth Rollins in this one, and I'm anticipating it to be a good one.
I think this is a very important match for Seth Rollins here. We've been talking about there's some slack getting on Seth Rollins for not being as good as he should be in this feud, and Triple H has cut banger after banger promo, and Seth Rollins is kind of hit or miss sometimes. So in this scenario, I'm interested to see what they're going to go with. This is, to me, no question. This is my first nail on the head, 100%. I think Seth Rollins has to win this match. I think the build-up that they've had for him and for Triple H to make this star, like Mitch said, I think this is where they're going to go. I think this is where it was supposed to go all along. I think this match was supposed to happen last year before Rollins got his MCL or ACL hurt. So at the end of the day, I think that's where they were going with all along. I think this is going to be a great match. I think this is something that's going to be a little bit under the radar, especially depending on the placement of the match. It might be towards the middle of the show, but it might be a great match, especially with the non-sanctioned rules above it. And I think it's going to be really enjoyable because both guys can put on a really good match, and they know the ins and outs of each other. So I think it's going to be good. The story's there, and Rollins, I think, has to win this match. And I think it's a very defining match to maybe put him back on the map a little bit because he has fallen off quite a bit. Mitch said he's before WrestleMania 31 status. So, you need to build that guy back up. So going with Seth Rollins, 100%.
One day what we should do is maybe in July we should do a redo of the WWE of that brand extension draft and see where we would put everyone, because this Seth Rollins, remember, was the first pick of the WWE brand extension draft. Mm-hmm. And you kind of wonder if he's been where you want him to be, which I think he should have been in the main event. And there's a number of different reasons for that. I think that these two are going to have a really good match. I really do. I think they'll pull out all the stops because they're both good workers. But I am going to have to respectfully disagree. I don't think Seth Rollins needs to win this match. I think that they need to have a good match. I think he can almost win this match. But I think Triple H is going to win. I think that what you can do, I think something that Seth Rollins said that was really interesting that caught my eye in this promo on Monday is this is about redemption. So I think if he loses this match, it continues to build up that redemption story. If you go back and have that rematch again at Payback or a little bit later on, you can build Seth Rollins into this guy that has to redeem himself. I think that there's a story there. I think him winning here and Triple H lose, I think, to me, I think that one of the problems is putting these veterans in positions where they have to put over the young guy. It starts to lose the luster of the veteran, the importance of the veteran. He's put a lot of people over. He's put Batista over. He put Cena over.
I will say this, though, Kev. I will say this, Kev. Though, we always remember Triple H for putting over Roman Reigns, but we don't remember that he actually beat Sting the year before that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he did do that, but that's one of his rare wins at WrestleMania. He has typically lost at WrestleMania. He lost the Undertaker 3 times. So I think, as much as people have this, I think Triple H losing here loses a little bit of the luster of Triple H. So I think going forward, this is a guy that I think you're going to have 2 or 3 or 4 matches more with him, 4 or 5 more matches with him. And I think a loss to Triple H actually hurts him more than a victory. So I'm going to go with Triple H here in a bit of an upset, although it's everyone's predicting, obviously, it will be Rollins. And I'm not necessarily going to say I will be surprised if Rollins wins, but I'm going to go with Triple H here.
Interesting.
Okay. Interesting. I like Kev's picks today.
He's very different.
Yes. This match is one of the guilty pleasures of the card, I think. It's John Cena and Nikki Bella versus the Miz and Maryse. Mixed tag team match. We haven't seen Maryse in action in quite a long time, but I think we won't see a lot of Maryse and Nikki Bella. Let's be honest. I think a lot of this match will be carried by the Miz and John Cena, who most people want to see. I also will give WWE credit for bringing kind of a new audience into this. SmackDown, this feud has been excellent. The Miz has been amazing. And this is arguably the best pound-for-pound feud in the entire card. I think the Miz has carried it. John Cena is kind of taking a back seat, actually. But I'd credit WWE for bringing in a new audience from that, Total Bellas, Total Divas thing and actually making it wrestling relevant. A lot of times they try and have these Total Diva matches that aren't actually wrestling relevant, and this one is. So I think that it will be an underrated match at the end of the day. I think it will be good because we'll see a lot of Miz and Cena. They've worked together before. Now they don't have the best matches ever, but I think it will be pretty good. Nikki will have a little bit of a shine in there with Maryse. Maryse will get her shots in as well. I think it might be a little bit shorter compared to a typical Cena match, obviously. But I think it will be a good match in the middle of the card that is just a lot of fun. And I think it will just have the audience really involved into it. And there's just really good characters in this match. I could just see this match being a lot of fun, especially being at the show. I think I'll have a lot of fun watching it. So I'm going to have Cena and Nikki win this match. I think it's kind of obvious. The Miz and Maryse getting this win would be absolutely spectacular. I would love that. But I think with the whole Nikki Bella thing and the rumor floating around that John Cena will propose to Nikki after this match, I think you kind of have to have Cena win this match. Probably Nikki win the match more than anything. And maybe the proposal happens. Maybe Nikki retires. Who knows? But I think Cena and Nikki will win. It's the classic face going over the heel in this match. It's a typical WrestleMania kind of match where the face wins. I'm going to go with Cena and Nikki. What do you guys think?
What a jamoke Cena would look like if he lost this match. At the end of the day, this has been pretty simple. Miz is really, really good. And, you brought up the matches that they've had together and they've been kind of I think Miz has improved leaps and bounds since probably the last time they've wrestled, which is probably 6 years ago, really. I think this is going to be fun. I think it'll probably be 8 to 10 minutes. It won't be long. But I think it's probably just more of a fun match to see what they're going to do with it and have everybody shots in, get that kind of crowd invested in it, which is a good thing. I think Cena and Nikki will win this match. It's been pretty obvious where they're going to go, and I think that, if that rumor is going to be true, you're obviously going to have these guys win. I think Nikki Bella will probably pick up the pin. It'd be interesting to see Nikki turn heel. That it won't happen, but it'd be funny. I just think that's what's going to happen. I think this is probably the most predictable match on the show, but I don't expect it to be like a 5-star classic. I just expect it to be fun in the middle of the show, and that's what I'm seeing it happen. So I'm going with Cena and Nikki. I don't know why I'm agreeing with Mitch a lot, but maybe that will change later on.
Because smart people think alike.
So
you're saying I'm not smart? You calling me not smart?
Nerds.
Nerds. Okay. Had I have been booking this, I would have Miz go over. But I'm not booking this. And I think you look at I'm going to just...
No, let's be honest, Kev. What we would do is we would have Al Roker hit Cena with the freaking chair. Yes. And then have Miz hit his finisher on Cena and win.
Yeah, that's what I would do. And then have
Cena we're doing a Jon Stewart finish.
Like that. Have Cena and Nikki build some friction. However, I do think that this is Nikki's last match. And I also think because they owe Cena for this, because the reality is I think this was supposed to be Cena Undertaker. Excuse me. So I'm thinking that they're going to have Cena win. I just think, though, I do have to say this. We talked about the plummet of Dean Ambrose, the rise of the last year of the Miz, his Smack promos, to that I think one of the best SmackDown segments of all time with his Cena impression last week. The guy
I'm John Cena. Recognize.
You want to pop the question? I think the guy legitimately deserves a world title run after this. I think he should be next in line. I think the guy's a bona fide star. So what I do hope here for the Miz's sake is that this isn't a burial, but this is an opportunity for the guy to go forward and continue to build a well-deserved, well-earned career.
Hey, I don't like people saying that word burial when you're in a match with John Cena.
This is just because of the way that this match can be structured. It's just it feels.
I will say this. I hope we don't see that double finish.
Double finish meaning they hit their finishers at the same time.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't.
That's what I think they're going to do, though.
I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
I hope it doesn't happen. Yeah, honestly.
Well, they're booking this. They think of how they can move the Miz going forward. So,
yeah. I expect Miz to actually get a world title shot by the end of the year. Like, I think this match might propel him into somewhere in the main event SmackDown Live status. So, we'll see.
And I will say this: they are willing to take more risks on SmackDown.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, Nikki Bella's favorite word is bitch, so they're always ready to go for that.
Perfect. All right. So let's move on to Shane O'Mac versus AJ Styles, which is the hashtag #BottomLineViews money match.
Yes.
Meaning that it is the highest percentage to steal the show. And why, you ask? Why would Shane McMahon face AJ Styles? Well, first off, watch the show and watch how the story has progressed. Second of all, Shane McMahon never has a bad match, and you have AJ Styles in the match. So it's gonna be the hashtag block match of the night for a good moment and a good match. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not sure what type of match they're gonna have. There's obviously gonna be a stipulation, and we'll find that out tonight. And I know we've said that a lot for a couple of different matches, but for Shane and AJ Styles, I think it will be some sort of, whether it's hardcore, falls count anywhere, could be a parking lot brawl, who the hell knows. Shane and AJ, I think, will have a great match. I fully expect AJ to win. Shane almost never wins his matches. It would be interesting if Shane did win, though, but it would have to be kind of a screwy finish. But I think Shane will put on a show. He'll do something absolutely fucking nuts. AJ Styles will pull off some miraculous, crazy moves. And I think people will sit there at the end of the match and be like, holy hell, why did we want anyone else to face AJ Styles? Respect to Shane McMahon. The guy's going to put on a show. He puts his body on the line every single time. And I think AJ Styles will walk out the winner. And I think that's the correct decision. But I'm really looking forward to it. It's one of the matches that I'm really looking forward to based off the story. It's been a really well-placed story and well-delivered story so far.
Mitch, did you say money? Because, Shane McMahon has his own dollar right here. Courtesy at the bottom. This was a nice souvenir from last year's Mania. Okay. I just thought of a spot in my head as I was thinking of this. I think it's hilarious. What if Shane McMahon uses the roller coaster and runs over AJ Styles? Now that would be a spot right there. I want that spot.
The ultimate thorough ride.
You're thinking like Vince Russo right there.
That's money. Vince Russo is money, Mitch. So this match, I've been looking forward to this match for so long. It is the money match. I mean, there's no question. When I heard this match was going to happen, I heard people bitch that AJ Styles is not going to get Shinsuke Nakamura. This feud has been brewing for months. It has a good storyline to it because he was the WWE champion for a long time, then lost the belt to Cena at Rumble. And I think it's been there for a long time, and Styles is great in the ring. Shane is absolutely crazy in the ring. He gives us those really cool spots, so I like that. I enjoy that. And it always makes me invested for what's going to happen. So I think this is going to be, right now, it's my most anticipated match of the night. I think AJ Styles will win. I think there's a chance you could book Shane McMahon to win this match. He doesn't win his Mania matches that often, but at the end of the day, I think this is going to be a great match. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to say it's a street fight. That's what I'll give the title for it. For the match stipulation. So maybe I'll be 2 for 2, 1 for 2, or 0 for 2. You never know. But I think this will be a lot of fun. It's going to be one of my most anticipated matches, probably the most interesting match for me, and AJ Styles pick up the victory.
Yeah. Oh, am I on? Yes, I am. Okay. It's hard to pick against AJ Styles. I mean, I do think that Shane is going to do his incredible stunt of some kind. I wonder if they're going to reenact the Kurt Angle, if you remember that Kurt Angle King of the Ring spot where he tossed Shane into the wall. Do you remember that King of the Ring spot? I wonder if they're going to reenact that and honor Kurt Angle in some way, shape, or form.
They better not do the broken glass where he gets a concussion. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That was freaking nuts. I don't want him to do that again.
I don't want him to kill himself.
mean, the rumor is that AJ Styles is heading to Raw after WrestleMania. So I just don't know how you get AJ Styles to Raw. I mean, I guess it could be if a loser leaves SmackDown match, then Shane could win. But really, for all intents and purposes, this is a match that I think I think will be a really good match. I think they'll work well together. But I do see AJ Styles should come away with the victory here. It doesn't make any sense for Shane to win. And I think even Shane will tell you that he doesn't need to win this match. So AJ will win.
All right, fair enough.
No weird finish from Kevin.
Sting will come down from the unexistent rafters, and the Scorpion Death Drop. We're gonna set up the match for Mania. You know, oh my God, that'd be fucking dope.
I think that these two will just work. I don't think these two need shenanigans. I think it's just dope. Yeah,
they don't. No.
Yeah, it's a straight Roman.
Yeah, I think it would be awesome if AJ Styles won with Shane's coast to coast.
Oh,
that would be excellent.
That would be pretty cool. The guilty pleasure of the night. We got Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker, baby. You heard it here first. The man Roman Reigns is going to win. The big dog. You hear that?
I hear it. Hear it loud and clear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns is going to win this match. It just makes too much sense. I think it might be Undertaker's last match. There's been rumors of it. They're trying to put this guy over, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised about how good this match is going to be. That's why it's called the guilty pleasure, because I think that this might be the match of the night. And I think at the end of the day, this will be the match that everybody is talking about at the end of the day. Because of the characters involved, because of who wins the match, and because of how it goes down. I like the feud. I think that this WrestleMania, looking at it, you know, there's some good matches on, like, in the ring. There should be some great matches that we look back on and say, hey, that was a really good match. I really enjoyed that WrestleMania. The feuds and the build-up hasn't been great, but I think one of the matches that has had a good feud that gets you more invested in the match is Undertaker Roman Reigns. It is simple, but it does get you invested. Roman Reigns is trying to take the yard of Undertaker. Undertaker is the man that owns the yard in the WWE. Roman Reigns is going to take it from him here. And I think all he said on Raw is what's going to end up happening. He's going to put down the dead man, and that's going to start maybe the heel Reigns. We'll see. Maybe heel Reigns, or maybe just Reigns taking over. Who knows? But Reigns is – I know a lot of people hate on him. But I think one thing you can't say is that he doesn't have good matches. And I think he'll have a good match here against Taker, and I think he'll come out the winner, like it or not, and that's the right direction to go. Hopefully he has a heel sort of, you know, vibe in the match, and at the end of the day, he kind of seems like the heel. He'll definitely be the heel in the match because everyone will be cheering for Undertaker.
Absolutely.
But hopefully this starts a heel Reigns to the top of WWE. I'm going Roman Reigns in the guilty pleasure of the night.
Kev, I want you to go first on this one. I want to hear you.
Well, yeah. To me, you guys talked a little bit earlier about the match that is the guaranteed win. This is the guaranteed win for me. This is the only way to go with this one is Roman Reigns. I think the progress he has made. We talked about this. I think he has become and approaching the person that Vince McMahon saw that no one else did. This top star. He has the look, he has the physique, and he's also worked for it. And I think that he can. I think that this is the time. I think that this is the big win. I think if they were to do it all over again, this would be the guy that they would have had in the streak. This type of guy. Not going to happen. I don't know if this is the Undertaker's last match. I think he's still got one more in him, but we'll save that for another time. But I think that this is it. I think this is the opportunity, and I think that the fans are going to get what they want, and it's going to get the Roman Reigns heel turn that people have been looking forward to as well. So I'm going Roman Reigns here. I think that this is the slam dunk if the Undertaker won.
So my thoughts on Undertaker and Roman Reigns. I think it's going to be an interesting match. AdWC fans, marks everywhere, will cry because Taker will lose. I think at the end of the day, this is going to be Taker's last match. I love Taker. He's one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. The problem is that, you know, Father Time catches up to somebody. And what, Taker's 52, I think? He's pretty freaking old at this point. And he's wrestled for the company for 26 years. He's been in literally every generation of pay-per-view for the company. There comes to a point where you can't just rely on a guy like that. And he's wrestled a lot. So I think it's time for him to ride off into the sunset. He's always talked about, if there was going to be a match, my last match, I want to put over the untalented, it's kind of one of the unspoken rules is to be the older guy to give the shine to the younger guy in the final match. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think Taker's going to line us back 1, 2, 3. Probably the best thing for Roman is that he's not breaking the streak. The streak doesn't exist anymore because then the people would go absolutely crazy if he broke the streak. So I think, Undertaker, Roman Reigns could be an unexpectedly really good matchup. And I'm interested to see how it flows because, let's be honest, Roman can put on really good matches. I just don't know how Taker's going to flow here. So it's going to be interesting. I think the setup has been one of the better ones of the show. And I think Roman Reigns will be the winner.
All right, so we're all on Roman Reigns, and Neville even goes as far to say that this is the lock of the night. Roman Reigns beating The Undertaker.
Lock of the night, wow.
Let's get into the lock of the night for the piss break of the show. Bayley versus Charlotte Flair versus Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax. Now, this will be the moment where I rather get up to get food or I go pee. This is a fatal four-way elimination match for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. I have no idea where they will go with this, which is the only intrigue. I think all 4 of these women can potentially win the match. I think the least likely being Charlotte, I think. Weird to say that, but I think that probably is the least likely to win the match. Bayley, you could see her retain it. You could see Sasha win it. You could see Nia win it. But I'm going to go with Sasha Banks to win this match. I just think it makes the most sense in storyline because we've had this whole story where Charlotte has been talking about Bayley and her friendship with Sasha and how Sasha's going to turn on her eventually and blah, 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 blah. We've all heard it before. I think this is the moment where the boss turns heel. She is a superior heel than she is a face. I'm looking forward to seeing Banks as the heel once again, one of the primary heels on the show. And I think they could have a great feud with her and Bayley going forward. I think that's the direction they want to head in. And I think it all starts here at WrestleMania 33. I think that's also the reason why they had Bayley beat Charlotte right before WrestleMania. Instead of beating her for the streak, they wanted to start the Sasha heel turn with Bayley. So that's why it makes sense to me. I think Sasha's going to win this, and I think she is going to do it in some shady-ass fashion. But most likely, I won't be watching part of it because, again, I'll be taking a piss. What do you guys think?
Mitch, how are we so alike today? Because we've agreed on every single match, and I didn't expect for us to agree on this match. But we do. I agree. I think Sasha Banks will win this match. Maybe that's the reason why is because they broke the Charlotte streak beforehand. That may be the only logical reason why they did that. In this match, Bayley, she's been the face, but has won in some shady situations. Sasha's been kind of winning or helping her win in some weird ways, and the heel turn's been inevitable. Nia Jax, I swear to God, I hope she gets eliminated first because she has no reason to be here. Storyline-wise, she does, but in terms of match quality, absolutely not. This will probably be another piss break or getting food. And at the end of the day, I think it makes the most sense to have Sasha turn heel at the show, maybe get the win. Bayley's a little disappointed, and she attacks Bayley after the match or something like that. So I'm not really caring about this match one bit, but I think that's who's going to win.
Why am I always different than everyone else? That's what I'm wondering here. I think they've messed this entire thing up. I think that this is one of the biggest booking mistakes right since Royal Rumble on. And I think that there's a part of me that thinks that Nia Jax is going to win this, but not enough. I actually am picking Charlotte to win. I think it's the right person. I think it's the person that carries the division. she's the queen. It makes sense for her to win, to me, the most. I still think you can get your heel turn if Sasha accidentally or Bayley accidentally costs Sasha the match by accident. Then you can get your Sasha heel turn on Monday. You can do that as part of your Monday show that Sasha does the heel turn on Bayley. But I think at the end of the day, they've made so many mistakes with this build here of getting rid of Charlotte's pay-per-view streak, which I think was really important. Giving the title to Bayley in Vegas, not on a pay-per-view, because the reality is Bayley should have won the title. That would have been the ultimate story. But I think Charlotte's going to win, and I think Bayley will win at Payback. And Payback is in San Jose, her hometown. Bayley will win it there. I'm picking Charlotte to win. Sasha does the heel turn on Monday and aligns with Stephanie McMahon on Monday and turns on Bayley.
So we're going with the boss and boss. We're doing it.
Woo! The boss and the boss, yes.
Love it. Okay. So let's go on to the next match, which is one of the highly anticipated matches of the Bottom Line View panel, especially myself, because I'm a huge Bray Wyatt guy, and I'm also a big Randy Orton guy. This time last year, I met Randy Orton. Nice guy from what I saw. Took a picture with him. Cool. Randy Orton, I've watched my whole life. He's great wrestler. Great wrestler, one of the best of this generation. Bray Wyatt is my new favorite guy in the company. He has been for quite a while. His promos are unique. His character is unique, and you've seen it with this feud. They've had a really good feud, in my opinion. I do feel like they haven't given it enough prominent time, though. I feel like it has had some really cool moments and some really awesome skits, but they haven't given it quite the time that the WWE Championship does deserve, in my opinion. Hopefully they do more with it tonight. I think part of that has been the Shane McMahon AJ Styles feud that they also want to focus heavily on, and also the Miz and Cena, which is a big thing. But Orton and Bray, again, could be another match that steals the show. There's a lot of matches on here that's kind of at equal level that people are anticipating to steal the show. But I think that this match will just be very good in terms of storytelling and psychology. And if you know anything about me as a wrestling fan, I like that in a wrestling match. So I'm going to enjoy this match, and I'm going to have fun watching it. Hopefully they go with Bray, because it's Bray's time to shine. He needs to retain this title. I've heard, rumors about not rumors, but like people say that Randy needs to win because he's the face. It's WrestleMania, he needs to win the championship. He won the Royal Rumble. I've heard that. But I think Bray, it's the era of Wyatt for a reason. I think they continue this era, and Bray makes Randy one of his first victims. You don't step to the god of Bray Wyatt like this, that like Randy Orton has done, and turn on him. I think this would be an ultimate, just absolutely a disaster if Randy Orton were to go over in this match. Now, I said last night on the Raw review that it doesn't matter who wins and loses matches, but in this case, I think if Bray were to lose this match, we've already seen him lose a lot of big-time matches before, and I think you just need to continue his momentum. The way that this story has gone would just make Bray Wyatt's entire character go down the hill, because he is the guy that's supposed to be in the head of everybody else. And now that Randy Orton has gotten in the head of Bray Wyatt, supposedly in the storyline, and for Randy Orton to go over on Bray, it wouldn't make a lot of sense to me. I think Bray Wyatt needs to win this match. I think he will win this match. I think they'll have an awesome match. And I think there'll be some crazy freaking RKO in this match. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be, but Bray will probably kick out of it. And I'm intrigued to see what happens with guys like Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, if they're involved in the match whatsoever, or if it will just be a straight-up match, or if Bray Wyatt will have his crazy, bodyguards around him and do something in this match. There could be so many different things. I mean, the lights could go off. Who knows what's going to happen in this match? But I'm going to have Bray Wyatt win, and I think it's going to be an awesome one to watch.
Mitch, I think we're going to go for a sweep in terms of these picks. It's weird. I'm going with Bray Wyatt. I think it makes the most logical sense. Randy Orton is great. He's done some really good things in here on SmackDown that have really intrigued me, even more than I would be intrigued in this match, and that's saying something. So congrats to both guys. They've been really, really good in the amount of time they've been able to showcase. These guys have been really good. I'm intrigued for sure. Bray Wyatt has been fantastic. But like Mitch said, the story has been built to where Randy Orton's got in Bray Wyatt's head. Bray Wyatt has to relinquish that and make an effort to be like even better and even more stronger. This was the big complaint of the booking of Bray Wyatt for the first 3 years, is that he would never win any big time matches. WrestleMania 30, he lost to John Cena. WrestleMania 31, he lost to The Undertaker. And WrestleMania 32, he was in a segment with The Rock where he basically didn't do anything. So in this match, I think it's important for him to do something of value on a big time show like this. And I think it's the most logical sense. No offense to Randy Orton. He's a great wrestler. I've enjoyed him heavily throughout the years. But I think Bray Wyatt is the logical choice to win this match.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this is one of those that Dylan made a great point. Bray hasn't really had that big moment. He had his big moment in a big moment in Elimination Chamber, but it wasn't the big moment. He is fun up enough. This is a guy that needs to win the match for a number of different reasons, and this is a guy that can have a long title reign, and we can go with an era of Wyatt on SmackDown and there'll be some intriguing matches going forward. And Randy Orton can go to a part-time status, and I don't think SmackDown will be all the worse for it. My wild outside-the-box thinking that I've done throughout this is where I think we may actually finally see Sister Abigail, some sort of mysterious appearance in this match, because we finally got to, during that whole burning scene, we got to kind of hear a little bit more about Sister Abigail. This might be the reveal of Sister Abigail.
Do you think it will be someone we already know or just somebody random?
I anticipate it will be someone random, not someone we know. Anyone on the roster or even in NXT that would even remotely fit that particular character. So, and see, I think it's just someone we've never heard of before, would be my anticipation.
Yeah. But okay, so what do you think Sister Abigail would do in this match?
I think even if you do like some sort of special effects here and it distracts Randy Orton enough that Bray can take the win, I think that'll be enough for Bray to do it. So even if you tease the appearance of Sister Abigail.
So if the Sister Abigail like cut a promo in the middle of the match.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I'd be down for it. I think it would be cool. It could happen. I mean, the amount that they brought her up, it would make some sense. So you don't see a Luke Harper or Eric Rowan or anything?
No, I think that Bray and Luke will kind of close their stuff off tonight on SmackDown, or when SmackDown, I think they'll close that off, and I don't think we'll see. I think Luke Harper needs to go forward in a different direction.
Okay.
And I mean, I think at the start he was a part of it, but he hasn't really been a part of it lately. So I think they're going to finish that part off and then move forward with Bray and Randy.
Dylan, any response to that?
I think it's an interesting matchup. I mean, if you have Sister Abigail, I'd dig that. I think that'd be cool. Let me put my camera on. Boom. I think it'd be interesting. They've teased it here and there. I'm interested to see what they do with Luke Harper. Like, I don't know. He's kind of lost in the shuffle at this point. So, I don't know. I mean, he didn't even have a match for Mania at this point. So, that'd actually be pretty cool. But I would like this to be a straight one-on-one so Bray Wyatt can make himself more dominant.
Yeah. Do you guys think that this could be the main event or no chance?
No chance.
Nope.
Okay.
Sorry. Nope.
All right. The main event. Brock Lesnar. Dun, 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 dun. Versus Goldberg. Goldberg.
Okay.
Or as the IWC
Universal Championship. We saw this match at WrestleMania 20. It was a downer.
It was shit.
We saw this also at Survivor Series. It was a freaking crazy match. Goldberg won in like a second. So what do we expect from this match? A lot of people are highly skeptical about this match. They don't want to don't want it to go on last. because of the dud that they left at WrestleMania 20, because they think it's going to be a squash, because they think it's going to be 1 minute, because they think of a majority of reasons. But I think there's a major twist that's going to happen in this match. I just don't know what it is. My booking of this match would involve Paul Heyman, and I think Kev is on similar lines. I think Paul Heyman at the end of the match, or maybe even on Raw, but the post-match will be that Brock Lesnar wins. Brock Lesnar will win this match. He will hit 1 or 2 F5s, and the way I would book it is I would have Goldberg look like he's actually going to squash Lesnar again. He hits the spear. He hits the jackhammer, and Lesnar kicks out. And then Lesnar, they go back and forth. They fight. Lesnar gets a comeback going. He hits 1 F5. Goldberg kicks out. He hits 2 F5s. Goldberg kicks out. He hits 3 F5s. And he wins. That's what I'd do. And then I'd have Lesnar shake Goldberg's hand, like we talked about on the Raw reviews with the respect thing. Paul Heyman not very happy about that. Raw the next day, he aligns with Roman Reigns. We get the Reign of Terror, and we continue on that path. And I think Lesnar will leave for a long time until they set up WrestleMania 34. Lesnar's come back as a face versus Roman Reigns.
I wouldn't wait that long because he would be Universal Champion.
I would.
You guys are saying that you would want him to wait until Mania to come back.
No, I would wait. I would wait for Lesnar Reigns until that long, though.
I'm just saying, how long do you?
Lesnar, I don't know. He could drop the title sometime, but I don't know. He could drop the title before that if you want him to. But I would just have Lesnar and Reigns wait till WrestleMania 34. I wasn't necessarily talking about the title.
That's why I was just trying to figure that out. Okay.
So, yeah. But that's what I would do. I'd have Lesnar win. I'd have it be relatively short with a lot of shock and awe and just a moment. And I think that's what a lot of people are looking for. They're looking for the moment. They're looking for the shock and awe. That's what WrestleMania main events typically were in the early days. And I think that's what it's going to be in this one. And I think it will work. You'll have a lot of good, long wrestling matches to appease to the fans and please the fans. But I think ultimately this one will be for the moment, and I think that's what's going to happen. Lesnar will win. He'll finally get his win over Goldberg. What do you guys think?
Well, like you said, this is for the moment. We've had, you brought up older Manias did this, but a lot of the current ones, I mean, besides 32, 31 had the cash-in, 30 had Daniel Bryan winning the WWE title, so there's been a couple here and there. But with Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, we've seen the feud. It's basically been Goldberg is one-sided, dominated Lesnar on every level. And I think what's going to happen here is, I'm not expecting a 20-minute classic here, 5-star match. Like Mitch said, there's going to be a lot of that already on the show, so you don't really need to worry about that. I think this is going to be a bloodbath. I think it's going to be a really hard-hitting contest, and I think these guys are going to go all out. Maybe a shorter match, but I think these guys are going to absolutely try to kill each other. And I think Lesnar will win. Maybe the way that you guys set it up was probably maybe happening. Very weird that me and Mitch agreed on every single match. But at the end of the day, I think it's the right decision. I think that's what they've been building up since this match started off at Survivor Series. So I think it'd be really cool, that last impression of Lesnar dominating the man known as Goldberg. Be pretty nice to see. So that's what I'm going with. And for the fans of the IWC, shut up and watch the match.
Dylan, what would you do if Kurt Angle came out and Angle slammed Lesnar?
Oh, God. I talk about the IWC splooging over thing, but that's what would happen. Don't even get me started.
I think that there was a point to the Raw closing angle that it was another spear, and I think that the way that Mitch booked it is exactly the way that I would do it. The only thing that I might do different is I think I might have Brock put in the Kimura lock, and Goldberg taps out, and Brock at the end does the respect angle. I think that people are going to want to cheer Goldberg. I think that this has been a really good run for him. I think he's done a really good job, and I think he deserves some respect, and I think the fans will give him a standing ovation at the end. Right thing to do. That's the classy thing to do, and I think that so Brock goes over, Goldberg gets the standing ovation, and we do leave WrestleMania with a happy ever after. Now, I guess that's an interesting thing is I could see Kurt Angle coming. If there's a match for Kurt Angle that I would love to see, it would be Angle Lesnar one more time. I think that they would put on a really good match, but we'll have to see about that. But yeah, I'm picking Lesnar to win this one going over. I think that they'll have a really good 10 to 15-minute match, and I think that they will make up for the mistake that was 2004.
All right. So there are our predictions for WrestleMania 33, guys. It's this Sunday. Cannot wait to be there. Cannot wait to watch it. Let's get our plugs in for the weekend. I know Dylan will do his plug city, and then we'll get to Kev and possible guests on the review here.
Ooh, all right. So Plug City. I love Plug City. It's the greatest thing on the planet. Of course, WrestleMania weekend is upon us. If you haven't heard the last 5,000 times that I mentioned, I'm going to go through it briefly, but this is WrestleMania preview. Some other people are going to be in here. On Friday, we are all going to be, me, Mitch, Mike, and Brett will be at Mania. Sorry, Kev. We'll be at in Florida, Orlando. We'll be doing some events. We're going to watch the Hall of Fame. We're not going to do a review on it, but we'll talk about it in our Roundtable podcast, which comes out right after the Hall of Fame is over, so stay tuned. I'm expecting that to be about 11:30 Eastern time, so it's a little bit earlier for you guys, really late for us. So stay tuned for that if you want to stay up all night with us and then have some good chats about favorite Mania moments, matches, all that stuff. I'm really trying to be really cool with that because that's kind of my creation there. Saturday, we're going to access JR's Q&A, but in terms of videos, we're going to have the NXT TakeOver review. We're not really looking forward to it, unfortunately, because it's been very poorly booked. But nonetheless, we'll have a review. Maybe there's to be some unexpected moments. Sunday, we're going to go meet Edge, and we'll watch WrestleMania. Of course, it's going to be a long show. It's going to be an all-day thing that you guys need to check out because we'll be doing a review, and Kev we'll talk about in a minute. He'll do his own review with a couple people. So I'm interested to see that, and you guys should be interested in the live review because it's two different kind of spectacles. We tried doing this last year. It failed on tremendous levels. And then Monday, we're going to go meet, well, we haven't talked about this on the video, but we're going to meet Hulk Hogan. Mitch and I are going to meet the Hulkster brother. So that's going to be cool. But we'll also be going to Monday Night Raw and doing a review after that. And then I fly back on Tuesday morning, and Mitch and Mike at least will be doing the SmackDown review. So again, if you have not, if you haven't known, now you know. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of fun on this weekend. So there you go. Plug City is over.
Yeah, so what the plan is after WrestleMania, I will be joined by my buddy is Alicia, who is a former ring announcer for Stampede Wrestling back in Calgary, and Corey Chapelaine will be expected to join me, and we'll do a televised review for us poor people that are not able to go to the actual WrestleMania. So we'll be doing that. And I don't know what the plan is for Raw. I can't promise. We might try to do something for that. I will see. We'll work on that as the week progresses. But, yeah, that's basically it. So you're going to get a live perspective from Mitch and Dylan, and we're going to do a TV perspective, get the TV is. And I'm going to be actually watching it in a theater myself. Ooh. So we're going to get kind of the theater reaction there as well, which I find always fascinating. So because that crowd is always pretty great.
Interesting.
All right. Sounds good, guys. SmackDown's about to start. We got to head out of here. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you did, let us know your predictions in the comments section below. We always love to hear your opinions. Thank you guys for coming and watching this preview, especially if you watched all the way to the end. It was a pretty long one. From Mitch, from Dylan, from Kev. Tune into the reviews. Peace out.
Peace.